which is a shock to me. I didn't expect to get them I did it less than a month, and I was like, wow, this is just awesome.
That's
And
pretty good.
yeah, I'm happy with it. Every day it's growing and it's getting bigger and bigger.
You can say that about a lot of things, but let's not go there.
Wow.
We'll keep this PG. Hey guys, Barry here, and welcome to your gaming station, Nintendo Impact Gaming. And we have a massive podcast here. Here we have Bobby, the Nintendo Guru. Hello, sir. How are you?
Very good. How are you? Massive is a very large word, and I don't know that I can live up to them. Up to those words. So let's undersell it. I'm an okay, very small, minute podcaster. No, I have a bunch of podcasts, so I guess that's you could say. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and like as you can see here, folks, we have Bobby in his own little Nintendo crypt, religious crypt, whatever, behind him. But
it's my Nintendo shrine.
Yeah.
I have little candles that I light, and I pray to Mr. Miyamoto every night before I go to bed. It's crazy back there behind me. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So Bobby, tell us where you're from for people who don't know who you are.
I am from New Jersey in the United States. I'm a lot of people think it's a soprano state. It's not that bad. We're not like Tony Soprano and all that stuff. But so I've been in New Jersey all my life. I live in South Jersey. People might know like Atlantic City or something like that, or Philadelphia. I'm not that far from Philadelphia, PA. Probably about 30 minutes from Philadelphia.
So basically, we're here to discuss about your channel and topics like E3 this year.
No.
Be very touchy, as you can see.
Yeah. That's brutal. I'm supposed to do, this is no lie, I'm supposed to do, after this podcast, I'm doing another podcast, and it's an E3 prediction show. And going into this, it was like, we're going to do, we're going to bring you on because we want you to do Nintendo. I'm like, yes, I got this, no problem. And then Nintendo comes out and drops the bombshell on us, and I'm just like, wow, okay, this is going to be a fun podcast. So, but my channel, I kind of rebranded. You know that because when we originally met, I was the Geek Guru. I rebranded about a month and a half ago now, where I had all this behind me when I was doing my Geek Guru stuff, and a lot of people kept coming to me and like, look, your love for Nintendo is obvious. Why don't you just go with it? Just go with it and do it. And I said, you know what? Finally, I started doing on the Geek Guru channel. I started doing a bunch of videos rapidly, like rapid fire every day. I was putting up like 3 to 5 videos. Towards the end, I was getting to 5 videos a week, and they were all Nintendo related. And that's when I finally was like, you know what? This is nuts. And I have to give a shout out to Justin Masson from the Nintendo Dads. It was a conversation that I had with him, and he came on my podcast, the Geekcast, and we had him on one morning. And after the show, me and him spoke for about 40 minutes, and maybe have been longer than that, but we spoke for a while. And then when it was done, it hit me. I went downstairs, I talked to my wife, and I said, I think I'm going to rebrand. I think I'm done with this Geek Guru stuff. I'm going to go Nintendo Guru. Like, I love Nintendo so much. I kept the Guru part in there, mainly because people knew me as the Geek Guru, and I didn't want to confuse a bunch of people. Like you. Like, when I followed you, you were like, what's this? What's this?
What's this?
Yeah. What are you trying to pull over here? So, but that's basically where it is. And like I said, I rebranded about a little over a month and a half. It's been very successful so far. I've been very happy with it. I'm a little over 100 subscribers already.
Brilliant.
Which is a shock to me. I didn't expect to get them I did it less than a month, and I was like, wow, this is just awesome. And
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. Every day it's growing and it's getting bigger and bigger.
You can say that about a lot of things, but let's not go there.
Wow.
We'll keep this PG.
Well, you're touching the borderline there. I don't know.
You wish I was touching the borderline.
See, there we go. See, there's the Barry I know and love. There we go.
Oh, we had a blast. We should give a shout out to Klaus and Zoink Games.
Yes.
We had a great time there and playing Zombie Vikings. Hold on a sec. Zombie Vikings. Yes. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
We didn't even know each other. I mean, I knew Mark, the other guy from Work Whistle podcast that was doing it with us. Me and Mark are good friends.
Yeah.
And he had Alex on his. Well, I think he had Klaus and Alex on his show
Yeah,
for an
yeah.
interview, and then I had him on my show for an interview, and then um, basically it just parlayed into. So then Alex comes to me and said, "Hey, we got this idea. We want to do this Twitch stream. Are you interested?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm interested." She said, "We're going to have other podcasters." I'm like, "Okay, who you have?" So she said, "Mark." And then she said, "This guy, Nintendo Impact Gaming." I'm like, "Who the hell is that guy?" Like,
Who's this guy with the long name?
yeah, like what Nintendo Impact Gaming? What's he think? TNA or something? Like, what's going on here? so,
Total
so
non-stop action, bitch.
exactly. So I agreed, and then we went on. We did what was that? I think almost 2 hours. I think it was. We played for a while.
Oh, it was brilliant fun, I think.
It was a lot. It was a good time.
Yeah. And they showed us, the little Fey game, the wee Easter egg in at the secret
Yeah,
level. That
yeah.
was
That
just
was
fantastic.
when I walked. Listen, I was blown away
Yeah.
when it got done. I actually called Mark through the PSN, and I called him, and I called another guy, Matt South, who's a friend of mine, because Matt was watching the stream, and I was like, "Did you guys just see what I saw? Like that thing was I didn't even realize it was there. I'm like, it's almost like a fully fledged out game. Like they got everything together. They just have to build it further and keep going with it. But I was just like blown away, and
Yeah.
it was nice of Klaus to show us and give us that like world premiere sneak peek like thing. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. And like I said, just before he actually showed us, I was like, I'd love to see like a 3D platformer. And then bam, just comes this game like.
Yeah, he's like, what'd you say? I'll just make this for you real quick. Hold on. They're
Yeah.
working on it in the other room. Okay, here we go.
Here we go,
So,
yeah.
yeah, it was amazing. I liked it.
Yeah, like I love the art style. Like I said before, like Twilight Princess is thrown in there. Spyro the Dragon definitely influence, and maybe a bit of Mario, kind of the platformer, but
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can see all that stuff in there. It was just amazing.
yeah. So, tell us what all podcasts you go on anyway.
Oh my god. Well, I have three myself.
Yeah.
So I have the Geek Cast. That's with my buddy Toby, Alan, and we have a female co-host as well, Holly. They're all from the UK. And then I have the Ink Strike podcast, which is with Mark from the Warp Whistle podcast, and a buddy of his, and now mine, Joe Candelora. And then now I started a new one with my buddy Sean Capri, and that's called If We Ran Nintendo. And I'm in love with that show right now. That show is just a blast to do because it's more or less just him and I grab a couple topics a week, and we just explain like if we ran Nintendo, what we would do. Because the thing of it is, and we say this all the time, we're about to do it now, and we did it for a couple minutes prior. Oh, what are they doing? I can't believe they're not having anything at E3. This is stupid, and everybody does that, but nobody ever comes with the follow up of, well, if I ran it, this is what I would do.
Yeah.
So, and that's how the conversation started between him and I, and it was just like we did an episode of the Geekcast. Sean came on, and that was one of the topics. Like, if we ran Nintendo, would we bring back Nintendo Power? And the conversation went on. We did our thing, and then we got done. And then he came on again after that, and we did another topic. And in the topic, it was Batman v Superman. And in the topic, it came out like, well, if I ran Warner Brothers, this is what I would have done. And then after the show, we started messaging each other, and he's like, we should just do a podcast if we ran businesses. I'm like, well, we should just do one if we ran Nintendo. And he was like, I'm game. Let's do it. And so that's where we go with that. But as far as like what I've been, man, I'm going on so many. Like I'm getting ready to go on. The next show I'm going to do is with Sean Capri, and that's We the Gamer Cast. You should reach out to him and get on that show. You would have a good time with that. You'd have a blast on that show. And that's what he does. He brings in different internet people and just talks about gaming, what you love. But he gets behind you, and he talks to you and finds out how Barry got into gaming and all that stuff. So it's a nice interview with the person. It's cool. Yeah. Life of Gaming podcast I go on. I've been on so many. Nintendo Dads, Warp Whistle. There's a lot of really good creators out there right now, and it's just awesome to get on as much as you can and kind of just like get to know each other and hang out and stuff.
Yeah, can I ask, what's it like for you as a podcast host going on to a podcast show? Like, do you prefer actually being questioned, or do you like to ask the questions?
It's weird. It's it's two things. I don't mind answering questions because I'm slightly egotistical. I like to, puff my chest out and talk, but at the same time, it's I like the control of being the host. I like to control the flow of the show. What I do like about going on shows is I don't really have to do anything but be myself. I can just get on the show. I don't have to worry about notes and all that stuff. Like today, we did the podcast today, and like there's all my notes for today. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just one show, and I have notepads where I can flip through the pages, and it's notes from all the shows that I do, and so that part of it, it's it's not as easy as it looks. You know what I mean? And you have to have questions. You have to come up with stuff. You have to have topics, and it's like now having three, it makes it even worse because like when I finish one, I'm like, okay, what's the topics going to be for the next show? And then I'm like, what works for this show and doesn't work for this show. And so I like the ink strike because I can just go on that and I'm just myself and I just talk. Unless when Mark doesn't show up and then I have to host, then it's like, okay, back, put the host hat on. But it's definitely different on both ends. I feel like, man, but I didn't really answer your question. I think I like to be the host because I like the control. And as weird as that sounds, I like to just know what's coming around the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
And especially with someone like you,
yeah,
because no offense, you're slightly goofy, and you'll come in with some left-handed, left field stuff and throw me over a loop, and I'll just be like, what? What are you talking about? I don't mean that to be offensive at all.
Oh no, it's not. That's just who I am. I'll just throw
yeah.
something out of the blue, and just put you off completely.
Yeah, and it's like, what the heck? What is he talking about? Like, and what I like about you is your personality is it's awesome, and you're very quick. Like, you don't get embarrassed. Like, for those that don't know, I'm doing a vlog today, and I just throw the camera, and all of a sudden I go into a voice, and you're like, boom. It's like Dance Monkey, and you're just doing whatever. Yeah.
Wait, that's slightly racist. Take that back. No.
It's slightly. It's not completely.
I know, yeah.
So, but no, I like it. I like hosting if I have a choice.
Okay, speaking of Nintendo Power, I see you have a ROB behind you, Rob.
Yes.
Is that a lamp?
Yeah. It's a lamp. It's a real Rob. It's actually from Nintendo, but it's got a lamp built into it. And it's funny because that's like my most like talked about piece. Like today on the Geekcast we had Kyle Bossman from used to be a Game Trailers. So Kyle Bossman was on the show, and as soon as he comes in the room, like the chat room, he goes, "Holy crap! Is that a Rob the robot lamp behind you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, it's."
Where did you rob that from?
Yeah, my wife got it for me for Christmas.
Nice.
And I was telling Kyle, I said, every Christmas I do this thing where I try to guess what she got me. I'll look at the packages and I'll guess it. So she thought she had me with this one because the very first Christmas that we got together, she bought me a Wii, and I'm sitting there and she brings all the packages. Now we're just dating, but we're going to spend Christmas morning together and all that. So she brings all the packages over, she lines them up, and I sit there and I look at the boxes and I go, that's a Wii, that's some games, that's a box with some games, that's some like accessories, this and the other. Barry, hand to God, and I could bring her on. I can't bring her on now; she's not here today. But I could have her contact you anytime. Hand to God, I nailed every single one, and she was blown away. So this, right? So now we've been together for almost 10 years now. So every year I get
congratulations.
Thank you. And so this year she gets the box, she puts it on a tray, and it's a weird shaped box, and she's like, "You're never gonna guess that one." And I was like, "I don't even care. Doesn't matter to me." So I'm looking at it one day, and it's bothering me because she said that it's bothering me, and she left. She had to go someplace. I think she went to the store, or whatever. It doesn't matter. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the box, and I go, "She got me a Rob the Robot lamp." I said, "I know it." But then I looked at the box, and I'm like, "Yeah, but it's a little too small," because I'm thinking that the top was bigger. I didn't think the top was as small as it was. So she comes home from the store, and I said, "I think I know what's in that box." She's like, "Go ahead, what?" I said, "I don't want to say because I think I'm wrong. I could be wrong." I said, "But I have my notes. I have in my iPhone at the notes. I typed up three gifts. I think it is." And she's like, "Well, what do you think it is?" I said, "Well, it could be a PS4." I said, "But I don't think the box fits." And I said, and I would hate it if you bought me that because I don't want a PS4 yet. I want to wait for the Arkham edition. I said, but I think that's a Rob the Robot lamp. And she just looked at me. She just stared at me. I said, don't say nothing. She goes, I'm not going to say anything. And that Christmas morning, I opened it up, and it was Rob the Robot. And she's like, no, I want to know how you knew. And I was like, I just guessed. I don't. We had discussed about getting one because she found it on Etsy. We discussed it, and then I just said, yeah, that's got to be it. And I was right. So she gets so mad at me. My mom's even worse. My mom tells me she's going to stop giving me gifts if I keep doing that. So.
That's your punishment.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to give you anything. I'm going to take it all back. I'm going to let you open everything. I'm going to take it all back and take it to the store. So, but yeah.
So as you can see here, guys, behind Bobby, there's loads of Amiibo figures. So which would be your top 5 favorite?
Oh man, top 5? Dude, you're killing me.
I could say a top 10, but that's even worse.
Well, okay, so number one has to be my Rusty Amiibo, the custom that I had done. From Xanark and Sky. It's one of a kind. You know, even the one that she did for Image and Form later doesn't even look anything like mine. I love that one. But I have to say, I'm not going to put them in order. I'm just going to give you 5.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
I got to say King DDD, Toon Link, probably definitely the 2 Splatoon. So that's what I'll say. I'll take 2 Splatoon, Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl, King DDD, and Outset Island. Well, Link. I also have an Outset Island Link that she made for me, but I won't include that one. And then the Rusty Amiibo.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, like, Image of Form, they're pretty cool anyway. And is there any news on when SteamWorld Heist is coming for Wii U? I haven't heard anything. Or you probably do know something. You just ain't telling me.
I can't say anything. I can't. I know something. We were just informed. I'm in an ambassador group with them.
Yeah.
So I was just informed of something, but you'll find out something Monday. How about we say that?
Well, actually, this will be yesterday then.
So when does this come out, Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday. I put it in Tuesday, yeah.
Oh, so then I can say it, but then you'll tweet it, and then I'll get in trouble.
Actually, no, you can tell me after. How about that?
Okay, I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'll tell you.
Thanks, guys.
Because you'll put it up on Monday just to be a wise ass.
Yeah. A minute before it releases.
Yeah. The minute before they make their
exclusive information.
Yeah.
So. It's weird because, like, I guess I'm an ambassador for Zone Games and you're an ambassador for Image and Form.
Yeah.
Brian, Brian and the guys there. It is Brian, isn't it? You call him?
Yeah. I call him Brian. I think it's Brienne or something like that. I don't know what the actual Swedish word is for it. But I call him Brian.
Yeah, they're great guys over there. They're really great towards fans, I think.
I love all those guys. Like I literally, after SteamWorld Dig, I had given Julius a Gold Mario amiibo. And I sent him the Gold Mario amiibo, and I wrote letters I hand wrote a letter to Julius, I hand wrote a letter to Brian, and then I hand wrote a letter to the entire team. And then, but not only did I write the letter to the team, I actually went on their website and pulled everybody's name out, and I addressed it to every single person that I knew of that worked there. And I was just like, I got to tell you guys, the work you do is above and beyond amazing. Like, SteamWorld Dig took me back to being a little kid playing Metroid for the first time. And I love you guys for giving me this experience and letting me relive this experience. So they are hardworking people. And, something, that's why I like the indie scene, is because the indie scene will reach out to guys like you and I, and they'll talk to us, and they're willing to talk to us. And it means a lot. It means a lot because the big dogs, Capcom and Konami, unless we're the Greg Millers of the world, they don't care about us.
They don't give a shit, no.
Yeah, it is what it is. But you got guys and girls like Alex and Julius and Klaus and Brian and Jules from Renegade Kid and all these guys that, like, just are willing to say, like, acknowledge you and say, hey, thank you for taking the time to buy my game. Thank you for talking to me and stuff like that. Like, that means the world to us. I mean, I know I can speak for you to say, because I know you feel the same way. It means the world to have these guys take a second to acknowledge us and go, hey, not just thank you for promoting or whatever, talking about our stuff, but thank you for buying our game. Thank you for playing our game. It truly means the world to me, as a creator, to have these guys reach out to us from time to time and talk to us about things and ask our opinion. Like Julius has asked me to take, like when I did the Xanarkin Sky Rusty Amiibo, he actually contacted me. He was like, "Can I take the video the footage and use it in one of our videos?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Absolutely, man, take it, no problem." And it's like they're just class acts. They really are. They're really good people.
Yeah.
So,
like last Halloween, I done a pumpkin design. Like I know some people saw it anyway. A pumpkin design of the brain from Sicker to the Man for Zone Games, and like Klaus, he actually sent me some custom artwork of the game, and he signed the back of it as well. And he sent me a Zombie Vikings T-shirt as well, which like it's just something like you don't expect something like that,
No, not at all. Not you don't expect any of that, and for them to, I mean, at least it's nice. You got a T-shirt, I got a stupid can of fish. So
they never sent me that, thankfully.
You should be thanking God he didn't send that to you, because that was the worst thing that I have ever experienced in my life.
That was funny.
I promise you, there will be a day that I am going to Sweden, and they will pay for that moment. They will pay for that moment dearly, because I will open a can in the middle of that office if I have to. It was brutal, man. It was brutal.
I'll make you a deal, right? Mm-hmm. I actually plan someday to come over to Sweden to visit Zoink Games in image and form. Mm-hmm. We should do it together sometime.
I'm down with that.
That'd be amazing.
We should. You know what we should do? We should do it next year, next summer, and just go. And this will give us both time to save our money and get. Because it's going to be a little bit more expensive for me to go than it is for you.
Yeah, true, yeah.
So we'll save our money, get it together. After let's talk. We'll talk after this. We'll get it together. Yeah, because that'd be cool.
Yeah, no, I think the whole experience of actually visiting a game studio and recording everything, like how is a game created, like even Pizza Fridays on games too, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, it's awesome.
Just the whole experience, and like Joel Bule, he's the current I guess audio kind of director, audio creator for Faye as well, and he done stuff for Zombie Vikings and Sicker to the Man. Like even even all that would be pretty cool to get on video.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely. I'm with you on that one. That'd be awesome.
So, what would you call the greatest game of all time, and why? Now, this is putting you on the spot.
Oh man, the greatest game of all time. That's hard, man. That's hard because you got all these different generations.
I gotta ask the hard questions.
I know. Okay, so for me, I gotta put it up there, man. I gotta say, like, probably the greatest game of all time for me has to be Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Really?
That game holds up after all this time, and it did something to me as a kid in terms of like it made me fall in love with gaming. Not the Mario, not Zelda, none of that stuff. Like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, because at that time Tyson was like a juggernaut, and in real life, he was knocking people out like a madman. And he was the most feared man on the planet, the toughest guy in the world. And that game emulated him so much. And I literally, Barry, this is no lie, I played that game every day for 18 months to beat him.
Jeez.
Every day. And I finally beat him after 18 months. And I was putting hours in. Like, I would, on the weekends, I'd put, like, on a Saturday and Sunday, Saturday, I put 6 hours in. Sunday, I put 6 hours in. Every day I come home from school, I put at least an hour in every day.
Yeah.
That game changed my life in those terms of like, because it made me fall in love with gaming completely. So yeah, that to me, that's the best. And it still holds up. That's what's great about it. Like anybody can pick that game up and go, and it's just a great game. The weird, quirky characters, the in between rounds, like the banter between you and the guys you're fighting, it's just awesome. It's just a great game.
Speaking of Mike Tyson, I know this is it's not really gaming as such. Well, it isn't. Did you ever see him in WWF at the time? Monday Night Raw, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh yes.
And the DX thing.
That was the greatest night ever, man. Come on, that was awesome.
Like
that was in the heyday, man.
Yeah, the Attitude Era, quote unquote. But like that just changed the business, forever. Like for good, that moment there, when it just
there, that moment completely. I don't care what anybody says. That moment right there turned the switch. It made Stone Cold the badass of them all.
Yeah.
It completely turned around the Monday Night Wars because things were starting to slip a little bit. But it was like the minute that happened, it was like you flipped the switch and WWF never looked back and they just took off. And that was I was in Disneyland. I was in Disney World with my cousin, and I had heard that Tyson was going to be on. And I said to my dad, "Please record this for me. I'm
Yeah.
going to give you a VCR tape. Please record this for me." And when I was in Disney, and now at that time you don't have cell phones, you don't have internet. I mean, you have internet, but it's not like I can open my cell phone. I don't have a laptop. I don't have none of it. Like it's not like it is today. And when I heard through the grapevine of what went down, I was losing my mind that I missed it. And I was like calling my dad, like, "Please tell me you taped it. Please tell me you taped it." He's like, "Yeah, I taped it. You got it." I went home. The first thing I did was ran over to his house, got the tape, went home and watched it. It was awesome. It was great.
Like moments like that, absolutely fantastic. And then him just turning on DX as well,
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a great time, man. That was awesome.
Great time in the industry.
Oh yeah.
Now it's very like. Do you still watch it now? No, do you watch wrestling?
Oh yeah, I still watch. Watch.
It's it's all right. Like you see there, like people like CM Punk is gone, Daniel Bryan's gone, Christian's gone. Like some of the best, technical best overall kind of wrestler.
A lot of them are getting hurt is the main thing.
Yeah.
And, the funny thing is this: I have the network, right? So
Yeah. So
occasionally I'll go on and I'll watch some of the older stuff, or I'll just pop on YouTube and start going through some of the older stuff. And my wife, she watches it too. She likes it, but she just started recently. She didn't watch it during the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
So when I go on and I get in the mood where I want to watch Stone Cold clips and stuff like that, and I start showing her all the stuff, she's like, "These crowds were insane back then."
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you ever go to any of the events when they come over to Europe, but me and my cousins were big fans. We used to go to like Philadelphia to the FU Center and to go watch them and all that stuff. And when ECW was prevalent at that time, and the crowds were rabid, they were just insane back then. And like you even watch the shows now, like old footage, the signs. It was a sea of signs, man. Everybody brought signs. Everybody. And the thing of it is, and you can attest to this, is every talent that came out that curtain could get the crowd off their ass and on their feet. And they can't do that today. It's like you'll get one or two like that'll really get the crowd going. Like you look at right now, you look at what oh my god, my mind was just blank.
John Cena, Roman Reigns.
No, the Budio. The
Xavier Woods and them.
Yes,
Big
dude,
E,
with Big E, what they're doing,
Kofi,
Kingston, what they're doing right now, that's reminiscent of back in the 90s because that was a dead, dying job. Like they were basically put out to pasture, essentially, because it was the dumbest gimmick. It was so stupid, and they completely spun it and turned it. And when that music hits, forget about it. That crowd goes ape shit, and I love it. I love them. I love them to death. They're awesome.
Now, how do you feel about people? Well, I guess Vince and maybe Triple H and Stephanie forcing down our throats like the guys like John Cena and Roman Reigns. Like I will say, I'm not the biggest fan of the two of them, but Cena is a lot more. He's a lot more charisma than I think Roman Reigns has.
I think Cena is talented, and I like Cena. What I don't like is at this point, and even with Roman Reigns, at this point, they need a heel turn.
Yeah.
You look at look at The Rock. When The Rock came in, he was forced down our throats, same exact way. And the crowd turned on him. He got hurt, he left, he came back as a heel, and people hated him. They wanted to hate him. They wanted to boo him, and they had their reason. People want to boo Roman Reigns. They want to boo John Cena. Let them. Because after a couple of months, they'll start going, "Oh, these guys are cool." The problem is that like I can't stand Roman Reigns. I can't, because exactly what you said. It feels like they're being jammed down our throats. And what the problem for me is this: is you take a guy who is getting over with the crowd, and then I feel like Vince squashes him. A prime example, Fandango. Corny as hell gimmick, so stupid. He had the crowds cheering, dancing, doing his da 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 da, that whole stupid thing. Yeah. The whole crowd every time, and then he disappears.
Yeah,
You take him off TV, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you crush a guy mid gimmick? I don't like. It doesn't make any sense. Like, especially a guy like Vince, who knows it takes a while to build a character. And he did. I mean, he built characters back in the 80s and the 90s. It's like they want, and then when the guy, this is the other thing that drives me up the wall is they'll bring a guy in and he'll crush everybody for a month or two.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he can't win a match to save his life. Like, look at Rusev.
Look at Ryback as well, yeah.
Yeah, Rusev was killing everybody for like a year. He's United States champion for a year. They put him in that stupid gimmick that he was doing with the stable, the United Nations, and then he comes out of that. Yeah, League of Nations. He comes out of that, and now he's having a hard time fighting some little Mexican guy who
Kalisto, is he?
Yeah, Kalisto, the luchador guy. And the bad thing is like he would have squashed him in a minute before.
Yeah,
like, this is a guy that like took out, the Big Show and took out Mark Henry and all these other guys, and he's having a hard time against Kalisto. Give me a break. Like, come on. It's so like, come on, Vince. What are you doing? Like, stop.
Okay, one last question, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you think it was smart for Sting to come from TNA, a guy that was hardly injured in that company, to come to WWE, and he fights a few matches, not many. I know I'm not blaming Seth Rollins, but he fights that match, at Night of Champions, and there's his career over.
I know. It's a shame.
It just shows you it's the company. Is it the workforce? Is like what they're kind of forced to do. Like, you have to work this kind of much in a match, just kind of keep it entertaining and such. What happened there? Like
you look at TNA, and this is my feeling: is TNA was very reminiscent to me to like an early ECW, where the talent was hungry, they wanted to win, but they had a lot of skilled players that taught. Right now, the WWE is going through this weird phase right now where they're pulling everybody from NX up. And I think they're pulling them up early. I don't think that they're
NXT. Don't get mixed up with the Nintendo.
Yeah, NXT. They're pulling them up too early, I feel. Like, Seth Rollins, okay, you have your run, you did good, boom, boom, boom. You pull him up. Next thing you know, he's running as world champion. It's like, wait a minute. Who is this guy? This guy has some, he totally skips the IC belt. Like, there's no reason in the world he should have been carrying the company as world champion, in my opinion, as world champion. And to even be in that situation to hurt a legend like that just blows my mind. And it's just, there's no place for it. Like, and they're doing the same thing right now with Roman Reigns. Like, the guy doesn't have any time under his belt to even be a world champion. Like, Stone Cold wasn't champion. It took Stone Cold like 8 years to become champion.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, what, a couple of years? Like, a couple of years in NXT, and then a couple of years in WWE, and then boom, here he is. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand. And and we're in the situation now where they're basically pulling all the NXT talent up. Like, they got like 13 new guys coming up, and they're great, talented guys. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love Kevin Owens right now. Kevin Owens is one of my favorite wrestlers right now because he reminds me of Stone Cold back in the day. He's got that edge, that chip on his shoulder. I love that type of character. So for me, I just don't understand, though, the whole rush to get him up. Like, take your time. Let him build. Let him learn. I don't think this thing should have never even been in that ring with him. That's my opinion.
So are you a Paul Heyman guy?
Absolutely. Paul Heyman is the man.
Yeah.
Like, Paul Heyman, to me, you stick somebody with Paul. Like, I love Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
I
love
Brock Lesnar, man. That dude is an animal. I don't feel he's safe to work with. I feel like he's going to break somebody's neck one day.
Yeah.
Truthfully. That whole Suplex City was cool. Like, when he did it to John Cena that one time, I think he needs to stop because he's seriously going to hurt somebody. That's just my opinion. But I love Brock. I love Paul Heyman because, to me, I loved ECW. ECW is right in my backyard.
Yeah.
So
literally,
literally. It's like 30 minutes from my house. So I loved ECW. I loved just the rawness of it all. You know, like it was like when I was a kid and I heard NWA for the first time, and it was like, what is this? What is this stuff? You know what I mean? Like it was like this is rap. This is amazing. This isn't like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like what are you talking about? You just fall in love with it, and it's the same thing. Like this isn't Hulk Hogan. This isn't like say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and all that stuff. Like this
Brother.
yeah, this is awesome. You know, and it's
yeah,
it's I love Paul Heyman.
Yeah, like they're like times have completely changed. But anyway, let's talk about E3. Is that an okay topic to talk about?
What do you want to talk about E3? There's nothing to talk about.
Exactly, yeah.
Zelda?
Yeah, what is it? Is it the 10th of June they're doing something? It's 4 days beforehand or something?
I don't know.
Zelda is E3 this year for Nintendo, and that's it.
Yeah.
That to me...
See, that's what's confusing me. All right? So, this is where I'm confused. Typically, Nintendo does their announcement the last day, the first day. They actually do their announcements the first day of E3. They kick off E3. Basically, they do their digital event, whatever you want to call it, and then from there, it rolls right into doors open at E3, let's go. So this year, they've said, we're not going to do the digital event. It's going to be like a 45-minute showcase of Zelda. Okay, I'm fine with that. Then, because my understanding, or my thinking at least, was, okay, they'll knock out 45 minutes of Zelda, and then we'll get 6 to 8 hours of Treehouse Live, which will be other games like they've always done. Like they'll bring other people. And I'm like, I don't care about the 45-minute digital event because the past 2 years, one year was phenomenal, next year was garbage, but I went to the Treehouse Live and I thought the Treehouse Live was awesome. So for me, I look at it and I go, okay, I would rather have the Treehouse Live anyway, so I'm good with that. But then now I'm hearing that it sounds like they're going to do 6 hours of Zelda. And it's like, what are you doing? Where is your mind at right now? Like, your target, it's just, I understand you don't want to bring NX. I don't have a problem with you not bringing NX. Because I don't feel like E3 is the big juggernaut it used to once was. Yeah, so I'm fine with you not taking the NX to E3. That's okay with me. I'm fine with you showing Zelda for the 45-minute digital event rather than showing the other games. I just don't understand why you're going to spend 6 to 8 hours talking about Zelda. You're going to potentially, in my mind, ruin the game.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want the game ruined. I don't want the game spoiled. I don't want to see every little detail of this game. There's no way you can show the game for 6 to 8 hours and not give away details. That scares me. So.
Yeah. Like, if you watch E3 from 2006, 2007, you know, like the Wii and the DS, when they were first showing off, the crowd was going nuts over it.
Yeah.
Literally going nuts. Like, even the 3DS, it wasn't too bad. The crowd was okay. It was good enough. And then every year, the crowd got, you know, like, don't want to say worse, but it got quieter. You know, it wasn't much cheers or anything.
I feel the biggest downfall in why Nintendo walked away, 2 reasons. One, they walked away from the stage because of, the first reason is when they were showing off Skyward Sword and the Wiimote wasn't working for Miyamoto. And I think Miyamoto walked off that stage and said, we don't ever take our stuff like this again because that was horrible. It didn't work. Yeah. 2 was the unveiling of the Wii U. So they go out there, they show off the Wii U, they get done. I was watching it on G4 at the time. Mm-hmm. Adam Sessler sitting there, and he's playing stupid. He don't know what it is. What did we just see? What's the Wii U? Is it a peripheral? Is it a new console? Mind you, leading up, every website you watched or went to said that Nintendo's going to announce a brand new console. It's called Project Cafe. We don't really know what it is. We think they're going to do this. We think they're going to do this gamepad type thing and all this different stuff. Then when it actually gets announced, everybody plays dumb. And Sessler has Reggie on, and Reggie's telling him, like, no, it's a new console. Well, are you sure? What do you mean, are you? Why would you even ask a question, are you sure? Or why would you even say, like, we were confused? You asked the man if it's a new console. He told you it's a new console. Shut up, walk away. It's done. Like, and I feel like if I was Nintendo, I would just be like, you know what? And honestly, if you look at it, it's been the way they've taken it on. Those press conferences are for the media. Well, if the media's not going to respect us, then we're not going to give them the press conferences. We'll go talk directly to the people. Yes. And that's what they've been doing, you know, and I like that approach. I do. I just don't know that showing one game is a smart move this year.
Yeah, like Wii U is my favorite console so far that I've played, in my life. But the problem is when they revealed Wii U, I think anyway, was like there like two options. Like they had the console at the back of the game, behind the gamepad, really far away. So it looked like a Wii system, which was putting putting people off. They didn't show people the console at all. And the second part is the name, Wii U. Why didn't they just call it the Nintendo U instead?
Or just go Wii 2. Something
Yeah,
else could have been better. They definitely have naming issues. I
yeah.
don't know what it is, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the NX and what they do. I just hope they go back to the basics and go back to their roots. Honestly, that would be the best bet for them.
Okay, so for talk's sake, we have, well, the news ran online. It's it's a portable tablet. It's a portable device. That connects to your TV and stuff. Whatever way it's going to work. Would you prefer the original one screen, or would you like the Wii U, like with, I guess, a second screen peripheral? What would you prefer?
For me, I don't mind the gamepad.
Yeah,
I personally like the gamepad.
yeah, I love it myself. It's brilliant.
If I here's my thing. If I have a choice between the gamepad and the Pro Control, I'm taking the Pro Control. But if I want to play off screen, I have to have an off screen, so it works for me. So for me, and I don't care what anybody says, Twilight Princess is brilliant. So is Wind Waker, with the ability to go into your, pull up your inventory on the fly. Like, that is awesome. So for me, I don't really have any. I've never been an apologist for the the gamepad, because I just feel like if you need a reason to play this thing, then you're just being silly. Like, I didn't feel. It's funny. I did a video today where I talked about it, and I said, Star Fox. It's a shame that it's not the greatest of games, and I think that because they tried to push something on the public that the public was screaming for. When the minute that Splatoon and Mario Maker came and that killer app was established, they should have backed off. Nintendo should have backed off and said, okay, let's go traditional controls and be done with it. At the time, I get why they were doing it. Because at that time, before Splatoon, before Mario Maker, the people, the hardcore gamers, they wanted the price lowered. They felt like that gamepad was costing $100 extra. So if we could take that console from $300 to $200, just put a Pro Controller in it and we'll go. Nintendo felt like we need to show to people why they're spending that extra $100. But for me, I never felt like I was cheated.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like, I don't feel like, because right now people are pissed off that Zelda is being pushed to the NX. I don't feel like I need to justify my Wii U purchase by Zelda U. I've had a great time, like you, with my Wii U. It's one of my best. It's one of my all-time favorite consoles. Super Nintendo is my number one console. I think that was the best console that Nintendo ever had. I think it was the best console in all of gaming.
Great system.
It's phenomenal. And so for me, I think the Wii U is up there. I don't think it's the best by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a really solid console. I love it. I love the games on it.
Hold on a sec. Do you love these three? Devil's Turd.
Never played them. I couldn't tell you. Devil's Turd. I don't know. I know you love it.
Really? I love that game. But yeah, like Star Fox Zero, like they try, like they give that kind of recreation of the N64 days, but I actually enjoy the game myself. But what I don't like, like they're pushing on the whole kind of the gyro second screen gimmick. If people don't want that, don't let they shouldn't have to.
You should be able to shut that off.
Yeah.
Same way with Splatoon. If you don't want to use motion control, you don't have to.
Yeah, you can turn it off.
But what happens is 90% of the people go back to the motion controls because
I prefer motion controls on Splatoon.
Yeah, they're better than the actual old style controls. This one, you should have given people the option to shut it off and then go from there.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree, yeah.
Yeah. So,
like there, you have games like Super Mario Maker. Will we get something like that on the new 3DS, you think, later on? Will they announce something this year?
I think so. I don't know if they'll announce something this year, but I think we'll definitely get something like that on that. Because it would work. I don't see why it wouldn't work.
Okay, tell me this, right? I've always wondered why Nintendo didn't do this. Why didn't Nintendo release an add-on screen for the Wii U gamepad? For games that needed two screens, if you get me. So basically like a giant DS, 3DS.
That I don't know. I don't know that. I think they were. I think that if look at it this way, when Nintendo sells a lot of consoles, they'll do all that quirky, wacky stuff.
Yeah.
But when they don't move a lot of consoles, they're very hesitant. You look at the top selling consoles that they ever had: the NES, the Super Nintendo, the Wii. Those three. Then look at all the different peripherals we got, all the different games we got. They hit us with everything. That's why I feel like if NX sells, we have a no-brainer.
Yeah.
They'll give everything. You'll get your Metroid. You'll get your Punch Out. You'll get your Zelda. You'll get everything. Every time a console sells, I mean, you look at like the Super Nintendo. We got Super Metroid. We got Zelda.
Donkey
We
Kong
got
Country.
Punch Out. We got Donkey Kong. We got 3 Donkey Kong
Yeah.
countries. You know,
First two are good.
yeah, and then same thing with the Wii. When the Wii hit, we got 2 Metroids. You got the trilogy, plus you got Other M. May not like the Other M, but you got it. You got 2 Zeldas. You got 3 Marios. You got through the roof all this crazy stuff. So I don't see. I think that people just need to buy the system, have faith, and when you put your faith in it, they'll produce. I think they've learned their lesson. I think they've kind of gotten burned a little bit on this Wii U, and I think they're going to go back to basics.
So I guess, well, today for people watching now, the update is live, well, or should be live soon for Minecraft Wii U Edition with the free Mario Master Pack. What is your opinion on this?
I think it's the greatest thing ever. I am of the mindset that's a little late, but I'm not going to complain about it. I'm like, hook it up. I'm ready for it because I recently just started playing Minecraft about a year ago.
Yeah.
So I love the game. I think it's fun. It's great to just go in and lose yourself and just dig and mine and build. Like I love building. So for me, I just have a blast with it. So now you're gonna tell me like it's all Mario like esque type. Oh, that sign me up, man. I'm ready.
Do you think this will replace the 3D Mario game that we wanted on Wii U, but you can make your own adventure?
Well, to some degree, yes.
Yeah.
It's to some degree yes, some degree no. Like it's it. I got my 3D adventure on the Wii U. I love 3D World. There was
Great
people
game,
that want a Galaxy. There are people who want a Galaxy. I get that. I understand why you want a
yeah.
Galaxy. I didn't care. I could care less. Like I felt like this game. I felt World was good. You know what I mean? Like I didn't need a Galaxy 3 to justify my purchase of the system. I felt like the system was great. This will be nice. I think this is going to be a different thing. You know what I mean? I don't think it's the 3D Mario game that people are expecting because at the end of the day, it's still Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's Minecraft painted with Mario.
Yeah.
So I want to see the Zelda skins. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Minecraft is the Zelda for the new generation.
Yeah. Like Minecraft has made such an impact on gamers the past, I guess, 3 or 4 years. Like it's just so phenomenal. It's changed gaming forever, I think.
Yes.
Since it first began, was it 2008 or something started?
A while ago.
Yeah.
Well, like when it first came out, I wanted nothing to do with it. I was like, that is stupid.
Like it's
that
so different from then, what it is now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I was like, that is the dumbest thing ever. But it was at my cousin's house one day, and his son's in the bedroom playing Minecraft. I'm like, what is wrong with you? You're letting your kid play that? Why don't you get Mario, man? Why don't you get Nintendo? And he's like, dude, all his friends are playing. They don't want to play nothing else. I've tried. I'm like, try harder. This is garbage. And then last year I got my PS4 and Toby it was like, hey, let's play Minecraft. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. And I bought it and I was like, this is garbage. And then because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah,
and then showed me how to craft, how to do this, how to do that. And all of a sudden I was like, wow. And my wife loves the game.
Yeah.
She just goes creator mode, but she'll play forever and loves it. And I love survival mode. I like to get in there. And the thing with survival mode is like, you feel like it's an adventure. You know what I mean? Like you start you build your base or whatever, build your home, and then you eventually try to creep out a little bit, as far out as you can go. And then you stop. But you can't go too far. You got to be able to go out, build a little base while it's still daylight before the monsters come, and then wait it out till the morning, and then try to expand that little horizon there. It's a phenomenal game. It's really good.
Like I know I got into the kind of the block simulator kind of genre last year, and like my cousin, he played Minecraft. Like he's younger than me, and like I'm there going, why did you play this? You know, like it looks like crap. What's
Yeah.
even doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but like I can see the whole like creative aspect to it now. You know.
Everybody does something different in Minecraft.
Yeah.
That's what the cool thing about it is. They gave you the tools to just go do your own thing. What you do is probably totally different than what I do. You know, and it's just cool. And it's even better when you get a couple people together and you kind of like go out together and try to do stuff together and try to figure out the Ender Dragon and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I would love to see Legend of Zelda
Mm-hmm.
and Animal Crossing skin master packs.
Absolutely.
I think
I'm with you.
Animal Crossing would just be phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah.
There's so much variety there.
I would love Animal Crossing just to see those trees looking like the Animal Crossing trees and all that stuff. Like, yeah, give it to me, all of it. And Zelda, I think, because like I was saying, I feel like Zelda is this generation's Minecraft is this generation's Zelda. You know, where it's a game where when I remember being a kid playing the original Zelda, we didn't know where we were going, what we were doing. We were stumbling into these temples and playing them and didn't have no idea what was going on. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, boom, you know, it's a huge adventure that we're figuring out day to day and all that stuff. That's the same thing with Minecraft. You're going out, you don't have any idea where they just drop you in the middle of nowhere, you know, and it's go. You know, it's the same thing as the original Zelda. They drop you and there's a little cave and you're like, hey, what's that black thing? What's that black hole? And you go up in it, it's like, oh, I got a sword. Okay. You don't know what you're doing, you know? It's like it's all trial and error. And that's the same thing with Minecraft.
Yeah. Exactly. So unfortunately, we have to go because Bobby has to do a podcast.
I got another podcast to do.
Thanks, Bobby. Leave my podcast on someone else's podcast.
Hey, man, we're supposed to start yours at 7 o'clock. You started late, so I don't want to hear that.
I know. Shut up. All right, Bobby, thanks for coming on.
Listen, we can do this again anytime you want. I had a good time. I really had a
we
great
can do
time.
a post E3 podcast where we talk about nothing.
We can post E3 podcast, or we can just be. You could ask me questions as I'm just crying, like a little girl with a skin knee, and just steady crying, steady tears.
Why are you still crying, Bobby? I don't know. Yeah.
Oh no, it's over. I can't take it.
All right, Bobby. Again, you know, a million thanks, for coming on the show. Where can we find you online?
Twitter, Instagram at Nintendo Gurus, YouTube Nintendo Guru, and that's about it.
Of course, guys, I will leave links in the description below. And thanks for watching, as always. Thanks for tuning in. You can check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Vine, Twitch. And for more Nintendo and for more gaming podcasts, keep it right here. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay fresh. Bye, Bobby.
See you later, Perry.
All right. Thanks.
That was good stuff. Thank you, sir.
That was good fun, actually.
I had a lot of fun. Yeah. That was good.
I was totally unprepared.
We went all over the board, man.
Yeah.
When you started going wrestling, I'm like, I can go wrestling. Let's go wrestling. This is good. I liked it.
You notice after the amount of innuendos in that podcast is just ridiculous.
It's okay. Fuck it. Who cares?
You said one there, a black hole, and then with a sword.
Yeah. You're not right.
Sorry.